Hey everybody, today we are going to talk about employee ghosting. Ghosting has come up in a couple of different coaching sessions that we've been having with Academy members lately. Employee ghosting has come up, customer ghosting has come up, but today we're going to focus on the employee ghosting.
Yeah, we kind of want to get into some of the reasons why that's possibly happening and give you some pointers on how you can possibly eliminate it and slow it down at least. And we'll give you a kind of example of one of our academy members, what they did to kind of help eliminate. Doesn't stop it, but it will give you some tips to kind of ease it up a little bit.
Yeah, so stick around. We're going to have a quick word from our sponsors and we will be back with our tips on ghosting.
The only app every landscaper needs. Company Cam makes it dead simple to communicate, document, and problem solve with guys in the field, no matter where you are. Company Cam brings documentation, communication, and liability protection together in one simple, easy-to-use app for you and your entire team. Take unlimited photos and videos, share custom reports, create flawless before and afters, and even communicate and share progress with homeowners with galleries and project timelines, all from your smartphone. Company Cam, the only app every landscaper needs. Check it out at companycam.com/million or in your app store.
If you run a landscape or lawn care business, you know the work never ends. There's customer service, hiring staff, mountains of paperwork. The to-do list just goes on and on. Plus, you still need to do the actual work that pays your bills. Running your entire business with pen and paper alone is just hard and really plain messy. You know you need a better system to stay on top of everything so nothing falls through the cracks. Jobber is a mobile and online app that helps keep your business organized and looking more professional than ever. With Jobber, you can quote jobs, schedule your crews, send out invoices, accept payments online, all in one place. You won't know how you ran your business without it. Jobber offers free one-on-one coaching to help get you started, and there's no software experience needed. Get paid on time, go paperless, and impress your customers. Try it for free today at getjobber.com/MDL. This podcast is brought to you by Busy Busy. Busy Busy is so simple to use, and it's the most reliable GPS time tracking app on the market. And the best part is, it was built for landscapers. Busy Busy's founder created Busy Busy because he owns multiple construction companies and needed to understand better which projects were making him money and which projects were killing him. Payroll is the highest variable cost in the project, so you better be tracking it. Busy Busy does this better than anyone else. So download Busy Busy today, and don't forget to mention the $1 Million Landscaper podcast to get 3 free months.
We want to take a quick second to tell you about our friends over at Cycle CPA. I can't even express to you how important it is to have a good accountant on your side. You know you want accurate bookkeeping and financial statements every month. Instead, you're often left with limited time to focus on the accounting side of your business and no reports to show for it. At Cycle CPA, the landscaping accountants, they not only handle the bookkeeping, but also provide landscape industry benchmarking, job costing, financials by service line, advisory meetings, and much more. Cycle CPA has a team of landscaping accountants available to provide anything from bookkeeping to CFO services. Visit cyclecpa.com and for $100 off, mention the $1 Million Landscaper podcast. If you want to get the leads you want and turn your current clients into raving fans, then you need to try SendJim. They've created an exclusive offer just for our listeners. If you sign up today, you can get your first month for just $2. So if you haven't already, go to sendjim.io/MDL, where you can get even more exclusive deals just for $1 Million Landscaper podcast listeners. That's sendjim.io/MDL and take advantage of these awesome deals today. All right, welcome back. So what exactly do we mean by employee ghosting? Do you want
Sure.
You go for it.
So employee ghosting could be where you have found somebody with Indeed, Facebook, or whatever, you have them come in or ask them to come in and they just kind of don't show up for the interview. Or it could be where you actually gone through the interview process and they gave them an offer and they accepted and they just don't show up for the first day or second day. It's a pretty common practice and something we've been hearing more and more of, and it just, I think with just the way the society is right now, it's just something that kind of happens, and
Yeah,
to kind of deal with
there's
it.
a lot of jobs out there right now. So in the past, people might have been a little more motivated to be like, oh, I'm going to be in contact. And I think it was just like professional courtesy to stay in contact all the time. And I don't know if some of that's just like falling to the wayside.
That, and I'm not sure if it's a little bit of a generational change. Like, we probably would have never done that. I would have never done
Oh,
that.
my parents would have, like, I remember like even applying for jobs like when I was in college or right out of college. They were like they were on my butt. Like, did you call? Did you, they made sure that the follow through was there, whether I took the jobs or not, because they, were like, well, it's really rude and you don't want to burn bridges because maybe you don't want to take a job with whatever company now, but you might in the future. And so you don't want like a black mark on your, application that it's like, no, they didn't call, no call, no show, something like that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is, at least from the little research I did on it, it's kind of come along from the online dating aspect. That was before our time, but
yes, there was no online dating back then.
But from what I've heard, that's something that's pretty common.
Yeah, well, I think people either connect. I think they have, or you can either go out on a date and then they never call you again, or maybe you chat and then whatever.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I think in general, ghosting, I think, is just stopping all forms of communication with somebody, be it in dating, be it with these employees or whatever. You've already got some kind of something going on, and then all of a sudden communication stops. No phone calls, no texting, no email, no nothing. Like, is that?
Yeah, absolutely. And it goes on from, they're not responding to any of the follow-up emails. So if, you send them an offer or
in
send
the
them
employee realm.
Correct.
We've moved out of talking about dating. We're not going to talk about dating. Neither one of us has dated in like 25 years. It's not a good topic for us.
If I want to right now.
It's your business, I suppose,
but anyhow, so yeah, back to the employee stuff. It could be something in regards to just they're not following up with any emails. You send them an email about, hey, let's set up a meeting, or hey, your first day is this day, and you don't.
So
hear from
newly
them.
hired employees is what you're talking about.
Could be, or just even hey, set up your interview, and they're not even showing up.
So they could be at any place in the interview process. They could be either actively in the interview process, or they've interviewed and you've hired them and you're just getting them kind of onboarded.
Yeah, and then the next one, I guess, is something that's pretty common, is just not showing up for the interview. You told them, hey, you should show up to the shop at this date or this place at this date and time, and they just don't show. They don't call. They don't say anything. No texting. Nothing. And they just ghosted you. So it's just something we see, and this is something that I've spoke to one of our Academy members about, and we'll get into some of the things that I suggested to them to help eliminate that in a little bit. But yeah, that's a pretty common one. And then I guess the next one is you gave them the offer and they just don't come in.
I've had this happen. Yeah, they just don't show up for work. So
yeah. And a few other things could be, that they've been working for you for a little bit of time, and you just start seeing their efforts are going down. Their quality of work is just
we
crap.
all know how to, I think, kind of recognize that. You can recognize when somebody has like one foot out the door.
Yeah, just the low quality work is there, and you just kind of see they're not going to stay. They're on the way out, so you just kind of start making plans for otherwise.
Yeah.
And I guess the other one could be just quitting without letting anybody know, just not showing up. They've been there for a week, and I've had this, and that's been going on forever, I think, but people just don't show up. They're done. You can call them and no answer. So it's crappy, but we got to figure out what we can do to kind of overcome that, to solve it, I guess.
Yeah. So why are people doing this? Why are people ghosting? Is everyone just a jerk?
No. I always try to find the good in people, but I think a lot of it is, well, there's a couple things. I think there's a lot of jobs out there right now. There's so many jobs for anything and everything, anywhere. Just there's I'm trying to remember the pizza place that makes dough for Domino's that's going up in our area. The lowest paid person is getting $25 an hour just to push a broom. So there's a lot of jobs out there that make
A lot of
perhaps more
competition.
money than what we could do for a much easier job than pushing or weeding
Right,
or
you can get
mowing
paid
or whatever.
$20 an hour to work out in the hot sun all day, or you can get paid $20 an hour to push a broom through a factory.
Yeah, so it's just, there's a lot of opportunities out there. So I think that's part of it. And the other thing I think is they don't, if they find another job somewhere else or they have another job, I think it's awkward for them to call and say, hey, I have another job opportunity that came up. I'm gonna
A lot of
take it."
people don't like, even though to me that's not like an aggressive form of confrontation, but it is kind of confrontational a little bit because they're going to feel bad.
Yeah.
They probably want to avoid the conversation of, well, but no, oh, hey, no, what if I offer you a raise? Or,
Yeah.
like, 'cause if they have let go of your job, like in their mind, if they're like, there is literally nothing you could do to get me to stay here, they want to just even avoid that conversation of having to be like, no, really, I'm done,
Yeah, and the next one is like, they don't feel value. They feel like they're either underpaid. They just don't feel the value of what you're doing. So they don't.
It's kind of like the FU. It's
Yeah.
like, I didn't like it here that much
Yeah.
anyway, so forget it.
Yeah, so
they just don't even care. They're like,
Yeah, they just
Basically
just
an
give up.
FU.
Yeah, pretty much. They're just not showing up, and that's it. So,
Yeah.
And the next portion, I guess, kind of goes along with there's so many jobs out there, they just can't make up their minds. They're just applying for everything and then
seeing what sticks.
yeah.
So
see what
maybe
gets-
they're not like truly that interested in the specific job that you have open. They're just throwing spaghetti on the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what they're doing, and it's just part of the world right now. So the biggest thing is we need to try to figure out how we can overcome this and what we can do to help prevent it, I guess. Again, none of these are 100% guaranteed, but it's definitely some
There's
tips
steps that
do.
you can take in order to minimize the amount of ghosting, but none of it is foolproof because people are people and stuff's always going to happen.
And I'll say this because of the one member that we're talking about of our academy, she has taken a lot of these steps and done it, and that people just aren't showing up.
Yeah.
So
You can do what you can do.
Yeah.
So, take the advice that we've got for you, but don't expect perfection.
yeah. So the biggest thing is making sure you are very open with your communication, letting them know exactly what's going on in the job, what their job entails, whether it's going to be out mowing or going to be out shoveling, digging in the dirt all day, in the rain, whatever it is, being transparent about it. I think that's the number one thing, and let them know.
Don't try to sugarcoat it.
Yeah, I mean.
Well,
it's-
because then you're just going to set them up to ghost you later. So
Yeah.
if you're very upfront about, yes, we work outdoors in all types of conditions, like you said,
rain, snow, or shine, we're out there.
we're out there. So,
So
be upfront about that so they're not, showing up and then we can, have a hot day 4 days in and they're like, what are
Yeah.
we doing? Yeah.
and part of the communication too is letting them know what the next step's going to be. So if you're in the just talking to, they fill out a job application, talking to them on the phone, which I really recommend doing. So you get the application, talk to them on the phone, kind of give them some heads up of what's going on, make sure they're still interested, and then setting up a actual interview is something that I recommend. But be clear on what those steps are. So after we do the interview, we're going to do this. We're going to go. We're going to check your references, or we're going to do this and that. Just be open and let them know what the process is going to be.
Over communicate. Like if you are communicating to the point to where you think you're being annoying, that's probably the level you need to communicate at.
Yeah, absolutely. But that, to me, that's the biggest thing is just letting them know. And communicating could be, to me, it should be finding out how they want to be communicated with. Do they want to be emailed? Do they want to be texted? Do they want to be called? Everybody has a different way they want to be communicated with. Most of the time anymore, it's texting. That's the biggest thing because most people don't answer the phone, so or they don't even check their voicemails. I've called numerous people and the voicemail box is full. Like,
know many people that are like, ew, voicemail, gross.
Yeah.
Like, what is it, 1993? I don't check voicemail anymore. So,
yeah. And then
and I'm somebody who likes email because I don't like it. I don't like getting a ton of texts on my phone. It disrupts my day. It bothers me. I would prefer to sit down and have like focused communication time. Like, I'm going to sit and read my emails now. But that's just me. So, other
so
people don't like that. Yeah.
during the process is finding out how do they want to be communicated with, and that it's simple as that. Again, most of the people I see is is through texting. That's the best route I found, and just you just have to change. You have to
We
change.
just
the
have to
times.
ask them. Just,
Yeah.
I would offer up options. Do you want a phone call? Do you want a text? Do you want an email? Those are three pretty common options. See what they prefer.
Yeah, and then next thing I suggest doing is giving them some kind of a escape route, so they can, if this is something that you don't want to be doing in their job, let me know. You can, if this job isn't going to work out for you, just please be honest with me. Let them know.
This goes
Just-
back to the over communicating.
Yep.
It's like, if at any point you don't think this is for you, just tell me and we'll stop right now. We
Yep.
don't need to go further along in the process. There's no need to drag this out
Yep.
if you are already, seeing flags that this is not a job for you.
And this is definitely like when you're looking at their resume or job application, whatever you do, and they come from doing some kind of work inside the office, and they're going to be outside in the heat all day. And
Well, because I have interviewed people that think it's going to be so great to work outside and they are tired of being stuck in an office and they want fresh air. Everyone thinks that's fantastic until it's been like 90 plus degrees and humid for a week straight, and it's buggy and there's mosquitoes and it hasn't rained, and so it's just hot. I don't know. Everybody thinks it's going to be great to work outside, but it's great a lot of the time, but it's not great all the time.
Correct. Yeah, it could be crappy.
And if
out
you're
there.
coming from a different environment, it could be a real slap.
So, when you're, like I said early on, when you're telling them that they're going to be outside, it's going to be dusty, it's going to be dirty, it's going to be muddy.
Yeah.
You're going to tear your pants, you're going to get your shirt ripped, or whatever it is. These things are going to happen. Be
Yes.
prepared for it. Does this sound like something that's still interests you?
Yes.
So it just kind of those things. And if it's not, just let me know. Be honest with me. I'm honest with you. I want this job to work out for both of us. So I think it's those communication.
Yeah, give them the easy out. Yep. And some people aren't comfortable doing that face to face. Let them know, hey, you can text it to me, you can shoot me an email. If you go home and you decide that this isn't for you, don't feel free to text me or email me later on. Like, you don't have to tell me right now face to face, because that makes some people feel weird.
Yeah, I like that. Kind of referencing back to the person in the academy, they pretty much did those. They had the person fill out the application. They called them. They even had the foreman call them and let them know, hey, your interview is whatever, Monday at 9 a.m. or whatever it was. They even called them the Sunday night before, but they didn't text. That's the one thing they didn't do, was they did not text. They called and
left a
voice.
message.
But next day, no show.
Yeah.
So it's again not a guarantee, but to me, this is the only thing I could take back from what she did, was to find out what kind of communication that person wanted.
Right. So they took a lot of good steps, but maybe just the one thing they missed was asking if they preferred a phone call over a text.
Yeah, and that's the
at?
biggest thing. And those are pretty much the biggest things that you can do, is just the communication. Just be honest with them. And there's things out there that you can do. There's software out there that you can take advantage of that kind of helps you out with this. I shouldn't say software. It's like a service that you can do. One of the examples is Team Engine, and they can help you through this whole process. They can set you up, and many landscapers are taking advantage of it because it helps you. It does this.
They
texting
do all of
for
this
you.
communicating for you,
Yeah,
so it takes that off of your plate.
Yeah, it just sends the text message. Hey, remember your meeting's in an hour or whatever it is. A day before or whatever too. But if you can't afford that service, you can do it on your own, especially if you're only hiring a few people.
Mm-hmm. You might have to just put reminders in your phone to do it. Don't expect yourself to remember to do it. I put reminders in my phone for literally everything because I don't remember anything. So.
And the other thing I think that you need to do is, if you're looking to hire, say, just one position, and in the past you've, interviewed 2 or 3 people only, up that, it may be, you need to
you need to cast a wider net. You might only have 1 or 2 positions open, but you need to maybe try to get 7, 10 good candidates.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, just because there's so many people that are not going to do it.
Because just assume like half are not going to be no call, no show, they're going to start falling off. So, try to get as many as you can.
I see so many people like throwing fits on Facebook. Another employee didn't show up, or this and that. Well, kind of the way that things are right now, and that's just the way society's going. So you might as well learn to adapt and overcome it and find ways to kind of get around it. So
Yeah, and I hate to say just expect it, but if
is.
it happens, it happens. Throwing fits on Facebook isn't going to help. All you can do is just take steps to move forward, try to cast that bigger net, try to over communicate, try to make sure that they're communicating in a way that they like. That's really all you can do.
You can.
It's annoying, yes, but set your expectations at a proper level and you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to be that way, but that's just the way things are right now in this world.
Yeah.
Maybe later on with the jobs market changes, maybe that'll change, but right now
it's where we're at this current moment in time, July 2022. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much. That's
Okay.
pretty much it. So, got some questions for me?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll go ahead and throw some questions at you. Okay, if you could jump into a pool of something, what would it be?
So Nick, our son, has those little Orby things. I thought that'd be kind of
I've seen
interesting.
that like on YouTube. So
Yeah, I think that might be kind of interesting.
All right. Pool full of Orbeez for Scott. Have you ever accidentally texted the wrong person, and how did it turn out?
Yeah, I don't remember ever. Nothing's ever jumped out at me. Like I don't think I've ever did anything or had
Nothing
anything
terrible?
weird. Just maybe a wrong number or something. But I don't. I know I
Not
have.
like when I accidentally texted the Boy Scout leader,
Oh.
"Love you guys, have a good weekend." I thought I was texting Scott. I accidentally sent it to the Boy Scout leader.
I'm
He
sure
just
he
didn't.
liked that.
I replied, or I texted an apology, and he just never replied. And like I've seen him since, and it's like never been brought up. I think he's just pretending it never happened.
Yeah, probably. Probably. Well, I guess I did leave my phone out, and somebody sent somebody else. Speaking of Boy Scouts, one lady pictures of cats, just like the emoji cats for some reason. So
Somebody
that
grabbed
worked.
your phone and was texting to other people on your phone.
But
Okay.
nothing was ever said either with that.
So you're telling me all the Scout people think we're
Yeah, then nobody.
bat
listens.
crap crazy
Yeah, pretty
is what
much,
I'm hearing.
Pretty much.
Okay. At the company party, are you more likely to spike the punch or Xerox your butt?
I'd probably Xerox my butt.
That's what I was assuming you were going to say. So spot on. Getting wild.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us today. Hope these tips help you out. And if you need a little more guidance on this type of thing, definitely check out the Millionaire Academy. We got all kinds of stuff in there as far as employees for hiring, retaining, and training your employees.
Yeah, systems that can at least help make that whole process a little bit easier.
Yep. So check it out today.
Yep.
Have a good one.
Okay. We're going to call that not my favorite, but done.